The Crestview community celebrates a brand new playing surface tonight as a freshly renovated Scott Bailey Memorial Field will host the undefeated Cougars for its first true home game of the season, taking on Firelands Conference rival Plymouth in a battle of the top two rushers in the league. It's live and free Week 8, high school football, streaming to smartphones, tablets, TVs, and PCs, and it's all on the way. Next.
Lender, craftsman, dog dad. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
Kissel's Lawncare. There's no job too big or too small for us to handle. With top-of-the-line equipment, we are guaranteed to complete your next landscaping job efficiently and professionally. A hard-working, dedicated team is what we take pride in, bringing to every job to make sure the results are the best they can be. So the next time you have a landscaping project that needs done, think smart and think Kissel.
Losing a special senior class isn't always easy. The Cougars had to replace 4 All-Ohioans. They done it with flying colors, dominating the competition, silencing the critics, and looking to win a Firelands Conference. However, an arch rival stands in their way, Plymouth, Big Red, a team with a similar story. The Cougars are on the hunt.
The 7-0 Crestview Cougars take on longtime rival Plymouth tonight in the first true home game of the season for the undefeated Cougs. Good evening, folks, and welcome to Scott Bailey Memorial. I'm Brian Skronsky alongside Andy Jardy here this evening. An exciting night if you're a Crestview fan for several reasons. Of course, your team, a perfect 7-0, holding the keys to the Firelands Conference in their hands, and they'll be playing at home in Olivsburg for the first time this season. Pretty awesome stuff.
It is pretty awesome stuff. Great looking turf that they've got installed here. First home game of the season. It feels like week 1. It is week 8, but it is a beautiful night here. This should be a great game. You know Plymouth would love nothing more than to come in and ruin this special night here at Crestview, and you know the Cougars would just love to lay a beat down on their rivals, the Big Reds. So this should be a lot of fun tonight, Brian. Looking forward to this one. Yeah,
I think that's a great point. You know, what an opportunity here for Plymouth. You know, all these rowdy Cougars fans out here that they're circled around the outside of the fence, and, you know, you're coming in here. Still an opportunity. You would need a little bit of help, but to be in the Firelands Conference chase, a win here tonight, certainly huge for the playoff points too. So, you know, what a chance for the Big Red to come on the road, spoil the night, and the perfect regular season for their rivals.
Yeah, and don't let that 4-3 record fool you. They've got 2 losses by 3 points this year. So this is a team that could very well be 6-1. They know each other very well. Plymouth, I expect to come in here and give Crestview all they can handle in what should be a very tightly contested game, Brian.
And our spotlight here tonight, the top 2 rushers in the Firelands Conference. Let's begin with a gentleman who is number 2. How about Shea Sparks, the sophomore running back for the Plymouth Big Red? Almost 1,000 yards on the season. 16 times he's been on the end zone on the ground. And what I like the most, Andy, of course, those yards per carry. That's a big number.
That is a very big number. I think we're going to see him get over 1,000 yards for the season here tonight.
Yeah.
Obviously, just
good chance.
A couple yards short. And how about, I mean, yeah, when you average almost a first down per carry, that's some pretty solid numbers from Shea Sparks. And he's only a sophomore. That's impressive.
That. And then on the other side, how about the senior Connor Morris and what he's been doing? Leading the league in rushing, 21 rush touchdowns on the season, and this was a kid that had limited opportunities a season ago with those stud seniors that they had, so he's had a breakout season so far, and he's the number 1 reason why the Cougars are 7-0.
Yeah, you see all those helmet stickers on there? There's a reason for those for Mr. Morse. Over 1,000 yards rushing, 21 rushing touchdowns on the season, and he does it on the defensive side of things too, Brian. 69 total tackles.
Wow.
That leads the team.
So we're just a few minutes here from opening kickoff. Looks like the Cougars are going to be marching out onto the field, and what an exciting night it's got to be for the players, of course. They've been playing at Ashland Community Stadium. I mean, no slouch of a spot. I like going over there.
Not at all.
Great venue, of course. But there's just nothing like home cooking when you get, you know, all your rowdy friends here tonight in this type of environment. So I'm sure for Crestview, you got a lot of nerves and energy for this run out. But then after that's all over, you got a football game to play. And I'm sure that they're going to be well prepared here tonight as their head coach, Steve Haverdell. He just seems like that type of guy that typically has that mentality to just be ready.
Yeah, that should be a very interesting thing that you mentioned, Brian, is don't make this game more than what it is. It is just a game, but don't let like the new turf and everything that goes into playing your first game. There could be a little jitters. There could be some of that. We'll see how well Crestview does coming out, and just try and simplify things as much as possible tonight, and they'll be in great shape.
Well, our Brooke Miller had an opportunity to catch up with head coach Steve Haverdell just a couple of minutes ago. Here's what he had to say.
Tell me what your focus looks like for this game. You've got Plymouth. They're a tough team. You've got St. Paul coming up. Tell me a little bit more.
Well, I just got to be focused on this, read our keys. These guys are a very good opponent. They got some big threat offensive guys. They play well defensively, so we had a good week of practice, and just got to be ready to go.
This is a beautiful new turf that you've got. It's your first home game this season. What's that feel like?
It's beautiful. Kids are excited. We got to walk through it on it yesterday. Had a nice thing with the community yesterday. Kids know how special it is, and they're excited to get on it.
It really is special. Is there anything you can tell us about this team and what makes them so unique?
They play together as one. They don't quit, and they're hard-nosed kids. So.
I love hard-nosed kids. Thank you so much, Coach. Anything else you want to add?
No, that's about it.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Have a good game.
All right. Thank you, Brooke, and thank you, Steve, for giving us the time. Yeah, he pretty much laid it out right there. I mean, it's a cool night, but a big football game to be played, and they can't overlook these guys, and certainly they're not over here. I know that, St. Paul, that's the big one on the schedule, of course, and everyone's talking about could it be 8-0 versus 8-0 in Week 9 for a game that decides the league, and I think kind of, us media guys, we're all rooting for that a little bit. Andy, we're going to be over here. It's going to be a fun atmosphere, but this is a big rivalry test for both of these teams, and they're each got a lot at stake here.
Us rooting for 2 8-0 teams to play each other next week? No.
Come on.
No, to determine a conference? Never, Brian. Why would we ever do such a thing? But no, I'm very excited to see. This is my first time seeing Crestview in person this year, so I'm looking forward to I've heard a lot of great things. I'm looking forward to seeing them with my own eyes. And this is a Plymouth team, too. Just looking at the numbers, I think it's going to be a lot closer of a game than I think a lot of people are expecting. Crestview has won the last 6 meetings against Plymouth. Plymouth's last win against Crestview was on Halloween in 2014, a 27-0 shutout. So it's been a while since the Big Red have pulled off a big win against their rivals, but we'll see what they've got in store tonight.
Cougars all going to hide behind that big sign here as a team. I love it, exploding out here.
There's no place like home, Brian, and they're finally getting a chance to play on their home turf, which is just so great to see.
There's the Plymouth Marching Band marching off the field here tonight. Beautiful new surface. And here come the Plymouth Big Red into enemy territory, a place where, as you mentioned, they haven't had a lot of success here of late. Crestview's had the run of play here over the last several meetings, but the Big Red, this is a huge one for them, of course, not only for the conference implications, but for the playoff standings. They're not out of the running by any stretch of the imagination to get a home playoff game, maybe even a couple of them. So they would need to defeat a team like Crestview, though, to jump into that position.
Yeah, they certainly got things back on track last week with that big win over Mapleton, 60-38. Snapped their 3-game losing streak, overcame 2 deficits in that game, Brian. They trailed 22-12 and 30-20. Came back to win that game, though. Shea Sparks, we talked about him a little bit. He had a big game. 14 carries, 134 yards, and a pick 6, so he can play both sides of the field, just like his counterpart, Connor Morse, for Crestview. And then I'm curious to see how well they can pass the ball tonight, too. Obviously, we know about the rushing games. Clayton Miller had a great game, 8 of 9, 151 yards, 13 carries, 93 yards, and 4 total touchdowns for Plymouth. So we'll see what Clayton Miller and company can do on the road here tonight.
Plymouth is going to receive first. The Cougars will kick it away and defend the south end zone to open up tonight's contest. And it's pretty much perfect weather. We talked about this on the drive over here. For football, it's a little bit cooler, but at the same time, there's no – it's not that cold yet. You know what I mean?
Not at all. This for October, October 8th tonight? I mean, we're into week 8 of the season. It's like 70 degrees at kickoff. Let's hope the rain and thunderstorms hold off. I know that there's some of that potentially in the area, but so far so good. It is a beautiful night here. You couldn't ask for better weather for week 8. Week 8, Brian, of the high school football season.
It definitely goes by quick, and that's why you got to get all the wins that you can throughout the regular season. Put yourself in a good position to host not only 1 but potentially 2 playoff games with the expanded 16 teams now getting into the field. So more opportunities to play on your home surface, and for the Cougars, boy, breaking it in here tonight, I'm sure they'd love to have a couple here in weeks 11 and 12.
Yeah, big fan of the all-black uniforms tonight, too. When you got 2 teams that have the same colors, it can get a little difficult, but the black is certainly going to help my eyes out, Brian.
So the Cougars teeing it up. This is going to be Devin Holloway.
So important for Plymouth here on the road in this kind of environment to get off to a good start here on its opening drive. And if you're Crestview, you want to set the tone early with a nice defensive stop.
So the return from the own 5-yard line is Clayton Miller. And he takes it out to about the 27-yard line. Let's meet the starting offense for the Plymouth Big Red. And Miller is going to be the guy who runs the show. He's the signal caller. We already talked about Sparks and what he brings to the table. And this is a Plymouth team that they like to run a lot of wing T stuff. Look for them to basically pound the football throughout the duration of the night here against the Cougars.
Yeah, watch out for Trace McVay as well. Last game, 8 carries, 90 yards. So he's a sneaky back, too, that can get big yards for the Big Red.
On first down, it's a pretty decent gain. Say 6 yards on the carry. And, of course, they keep it on the ground here on second down. And that's going to be first down yardage for the quarterback.
Yeah, Clayton Miller just kept it right there. Nice opening drive so far. 2 plays and a first down for Plymouth.
Here are the starting defensive players here for the Crestview Cougars, brought to you by Kissel's Lawncare, spraying and painting. As quickly, Plymouth actually gets up to the line. And they got another 4-yard gain.
Yeah, nice just picking up. It's a nice play on first down. Makes it second and, manageable here at 2nd and 6. Just a nice 4-yard run. Getting a good push up front here early on is Plymouth.
Miller from the gun fakes it. He's going to load up. He's going to go deep. And he's got a man. Big catch there by Caden Allen.
And there you go. There you see the arm of Clayton Miller. Finds his receiver downfield.
Hey, Blake.
And a huge gain for Plymouth here on the road.
Yeah, huge play. A bit of a statement play here on this opening drive for the Big Red.
Caden Allen on that reception.
Pounded up the middle with the fullback this time. And it's down to the 15. So the Big Red into enemy territory. Breaking inside of the red zone for the first time.
And you've already seen 3 different ball carriers for Plymouth on about 4 runs. So they have mixed it up already.
Flags fly. And this one's going to go against Plymouth, the first penalty on either side here tonight.
And it's only a 5-yard penalty, Brian, but with the way that this drive is going, sometimes it's something like that that can just completely derail. We'll see how Plymouth responds after it.
Penalties can be the ultimate momentum killer to a drive. You're absolutely right.
Second down and 11 for the Big Red.
And especially for the Big Red that had been on the move. And now some trickery here as they flip it to Sparks. It doesn't work out. The Cougars were ready for it.
Yeah, tried to get a little too cute in the red zone, and it's going to cost them a lot of yards. And once again, you're seeing coming off the penalty, and suddenly you're looking at a 3rd and long after things were going so well for you. Shea Sparks had just nowhere to go. No surprise, Owen Barker in on the tackle. 52 on the season. 10 sacks, Brian.
Yeah, he has been a menace getting into the backfield all season long. As this throw going to be well short of first down yardage. Catch made by Nick Cole.
Just a nice pitch and catch. And I think we're going to see them go for it here on 4th down.
You're right, it's going to be 4th down and 10. Miller from the gun. He's got Sparks to his left. They'll fake it to him. Chucks it up towards the end zone, and it's going to be underthrown. It looked like Caden Allen had a step, but the throw was off target.
Yeah, the throw might have just slipped out of his hands. It was a wobbly pass. Don't think anybody tipped it, but just really nothing on that throw from Clayton Miller. Not quite sure what happened there, if the ball just slipped out of his hands or what, but it was definitely not a tight spiral or anything, Brian. So a good stop by Crestview's defense, though. After Plymouth was marching down the field, they come away with nothing, and that's tough with how that drive was going.
Huge play on 4th down for the Crestview defense to get off the field, so the offense out there for the first time.
play, number 25, Shea Sparks. Second down and 4 for the Cougars.
No surprise to see Connor Morris get the first play from scrimmage.
And Shea Sparks with the tackle. Second down, they keep it on the ground with Wade Bolin.
That's for number 9, Sean English of the Big Red. Third down and about a yard to go for the Cougars.
2 simple runs to get their offense going. Set up a 3rd and short here, Brian.
The ball carrier for the Cougars gets a first down. Ball carrier. Wentz is the tackler.